Yeah, I would say on all the levels or all the bodies, it's helped in conjunction with other things. Like I started cleansing and doing like the Epsom salts liver flush method, and then I discovered ZenCleanz. Just on a Telegram channel, I saw this guy and he was doing the intestinal cleanse and keeping a video log of his experience. And like the Discovering the Liver Flush book by Andreas Moritz, as soon as I found that, I just knew I had to do it. And I started embarking on that journey. And it was the same with ZenCleanz. As soon as I heard about this and saw this guy's video, I bought an intestinal cleanse, and yeah, I couldn't wait to do it. And yeah, like in the past, I'd struggled extremely throughout basically my whole life, mentally, probably spiritually too, and physically. A lot of depression, anxiety, severe, intense constipation, insomnia, irritability, like just everything basically. And yeah, things started to take a turn for the better with the liver flushes, but I have to say the intestinal cleanses from ZenCleanz, that was the game changer for me, or really started to, yeah, kickstart getting my life back essentially. Because yeah, especially the like probably 15 years of insomnia was just so debilitating and crippling. And after my first intestinal cleanse, I slept through the night for the first time since I can ever remember. So yeah, phenomenal. Absolutely. I had several aha moments. And like you said, I did a rainbow cleanse as well. And on that, I was in conjunction with that reading this book called The Gene Keys. I don't know if you've heard of that. But yeah, so I'd done my profile with the gene keys and I was reading my specific gene keys whilst doing the rainbow cleanse. And like you, on day 2, I had some nucleoid plaque come out, and I'd never even heard of nucleoid plaque before. And yeah, this stuff just kept coming out of me, and like it was quite smelly too, and just big chunks. And along with that, I don't, how do you describe it? Like, yeah, the sort of the beginning of the cleansing of all the bodies. And I just, yeah, kept having these realizations and insights about my spiritual life and my working life, in my relationships, little things that I'd unconsciously been doing. The enzymes definitely brought that to the surface for me to look at and go, aha, I see you. And now I can transform you and be conscious of it. So going forward, that won't happen again, or things like that. But then on the liver cleanse part of the rainbow, um, we had some friends come over, and I wasn't really aware of it until essentially just before they got there. And I was day 8 of not eating, or having the enzymes, but so quite highly strung in a sense. I was definitely liverish, and yeah, there was a lot of tension and stuff boiling inside me, which was great. But yeah, and I just had this moment with my stepdad, because we lived together, and this huge surge of anger came up within me. And I haven't been very good at confrontation and speaking my truth. And for the first time in a 20-year relationship, I confronted him, and we both ended up in tears and hugging probably 5 times, and had this huge moment that we'd never even come close to having before in 20 years. And without a question of a doubt, it was the enzymes, because you feel it on all levels. Like it's an intelligent medicine. Like there's no doubt about it for me. Like you feel the Buddha Sutras in you. You feel this intelligence going through your body and bringing stuff to the surface. Yeah, it's amazing.
You can compare it.
Yeah, well, I was pretty new to cleansing before discovering ZenCleanz. I'd done a little bit of fasting, nothing crazy, just maybe a handful of sort of 3-day water fasts, and definitely experimenting with different diets and things like that. And as I said before, the Epsom salts liver flushes. I also did a zeolite heavy metal detox, but that had been about it. And interestingly, once I found ZenCleanz and I saw on the website the the recommended order in which you should cleanse, and heavy metals was right at the end, and the intestines and the liver were at the beginning. And I had a quite a challenging time on the heavy metals detox, and now I realize why. I was sort of doing it back to front. But yeah, apart from cleansing, I just basically did easily $50,000 worth of supplements that did absolutely nothing. Probably made things worse, really, if anything, ironically. And of course, if your intestines are coated with nuclear plaque and you're not absorbing anything, they're literally just pills that you're taking or herbs you're taking that are just going through your system and not doing anything. So I think that was one of the biggest aha moments, and such a relief that I could just essentially throw all these tablets away and just take enzymes, and it's this all-encompassing supplement that you really essentially don't need anything else. And it really kick-started my research and learning about the body more, and just discovering all these different cleanses you can do. So I've sort of lost my train of thought here. I don't quite know what I'm going on about now, but I as much as I can, I would just continue to buy enzymes now rather than investing in other supplements and even other cleansers, because even though I've probably had bigger releases on the Epsom salts with a cleanse method, having done now the 3-part flush on the enzymes, that was the most powerful liver cleanse I've done. And I don't know, even if you don't physically release hundreds and hundreds of stones, the enzyme one feels different in the body, and it feels like it peels deeper layers off, if that makes sense. I don't know, just energetically and on several different levels, it feels like it's working, and rather than just the physical with the Epsom salts method.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, because it's funny. I did smoke for about 15-ish years. Maybe it's a little bit, at least 10, and quite heavily, sometimes 20 a day. I'd quit for a few months. I did quit for a year once, but always a battle. And I also smoked marijuana quite heavily, because it was the only thing that would knock me out and help me sleep. And I did stop both of those probably for about 3 months before I discovered the ZenCleanz. But in the last year or so, I've watched all the addiction, not all of them. Of course, the stories still come up or whatever, but I've practically watched all those really full-on addictions just fall away naturally by themselves without me having to try. And I tried and battled for so many years, and it's been amazing. Like coffee, I'm just not interested. I work as a barista. I'm surrounded by coffee all day, but I'm not interested. Smoking now, I can sit around people smoking. I can go to parties or whatever, and where I normally would have chain smokes because I was anxious or whatever, or just wanted something to do rather than just to sit there and be, I'm just so content to not do that anymore, and it's such a relief, and it's life is so much easier. But it happened organically. I didn't actually have to try in the end. The initial couple of months, sure, but yeah, things have just unfolded naturally, and I do predominantly put it down to the enzymes. Of course, I have to give myself some credit too, because yeah, we do put in the effort. The enzymes are magical and they're really easy to take, but you still have to go through the motions and do it and face whatever comes up. But yeah, I've just watched, yeah, naturally I just started exercising and it just grew and grew. I didn't put pressure on myself. I have to start exercising, and I start with a 10K run. It's just grown organically, and now I just want to do it rather than having, I should do this and I should do that. I should eat this way only. And yeah, the strictness thing has, because I used to really be all or nothing, and I have to, yeah, so disciplined, but that would make me then revert back to the addictions, because I would fail once or whatever, then beat yourself up, and the vicious cycle would start again. And that just hasn't happened. And it doesn't, I won't say never, but it doesn't feel like that part's going to come back. Yeah, I'm so much more at peace with myself than I've probably ever been in my life. And yeah, I'm just so incredibly grateful. I wake up each morning and I'm in bed going, oh my God, thank you. And I've never really been grateful before to exist. So yeah.
So what do you do
Right
to
on.
create a better self and a better world?
Well, yeah, definitely the cleansing. I'm just noticing on a subtle level, um, just a, yeah, much calmer energy. And I think we need calm, grounded, just people being and radiating that out. This like anchoring down the chaos of the world. And yeah, I think, I don't know if I'm just sort of projecting it, but I do feel that I can lift people's spirits more now, and I am sort of rubbing off on people. Um, yeah, I haven't in the sort of material world outwardly like created a business or anything to reach out to people and affect them in that way. But I've only just begun the journey, so I'm still discovering myself, and I think you sort of have to do that before. It's sort of a bit of a paradox. By helping yourself, you do help the collective and everyone. As you said, we're all one anyway. But you can't really truly help anyone else until you've helped yourself, even though we're all one. So I'm still very much focusing on me, but like you said, I'm doing it so that when I'm older, I've got that vitality, and people will see, even in a couple of years from now, hold on, I heard that he was doing these enzymes and all this cleansing, and look at him, like, oh, maybe I should stop drinking, or that there is something to this. Maybe I will try a liver flush. You never know. But yeah, I feel healthier and way more energy than I ever did, even in my early 20s. And I'm 30, about to turn 34. And I just simply never thought it was going to be possible. I'd basically resided myself to, I'm just going to exist and it's going to be pretty miserable. I've wanted to take my own life before. I'm glad I didn't, but that might come back, and I don't even have the guts to do that. That was my rock bottom. But now I'm so grateful that I've even had those experiences, because doing a liver flush, if you've been that low, it's like it can't get any worse. And once you've done one and you start to build this momentum, and you do notice those tiny shifts within yourself, you're like, oh my God, there is a way out. You can heal. It doesn't really matter how low or how poor a condition you're in. And what a beautiful journey. I've learned so much in these last 2 years that I wouldn't actually trade the, for need of a label, negative experiences that I've had in my life, and the depression and all of that and the bad health, because without that, I wouldn't have come to this path. And now I feel like I've really found, at least for now, my purpose, which is to learn all of this stuff and cleanse and be a living example of you can transform yourself. Because I would watch other people do it and just go, they must just have something that I don't. And so totally identified with the victim consciousness. It had me so deep in its grip. And yeah, I can't believe it. I'm starting to cry now, but yeah, it can be broken. Can be. Same back. Thanks for having me. And yeah, the Telegram chat is awesome. I do find it a little bit overwhelming sometimes, but it just, yeah, like I resonate with all of it, because when people are freaking out and going, oh, I haven't had any releases and it's day 3, I've been there, and it just reminds me of those times. And yeah, you can just, even if you're not writing back to them, just send them some love and some energy, and know that
Totally.
you're gonna get through it, and that that in itself is a gift. Because yeah, like you can see the stories, and you're actually probably creating the quenching so that you can't release, by obsessing about not releasing, or focusing on the result rather than just experiencing the journey. I constantly watch Daniel point that out, and it's just such a good reminder every single time. Because of course you want big stones, you want to see all the plaque come out, you just want to be clean. But it's like, easy, Tiger, it's enjoy the ride. Yeah. And yeah, you pick up little bits of wisdom from everyone. Like, I would never have thought to do the enema of the number 10 sachet, but you put that up there and I tried it and it was phenomenal, So